Hello everyone and welcome back to Bladesong. Well, right after the last episode's recording, I did take a look at the different commissions that we have for today, and I think I will go with Tena. Unfortunately, I don't really like the rest of them. Brian, it says the man at your door has dark designs. I don't like the sound of that, so I don't think I will help him. And this noble lady, well, she is asking for a blade for her fiancé to fight her stepfather. But the boy is not very keen on the situation, so I don't really want to help them, or help her to be specific. So tell you what, it would give us plenty of money, but for the sake of the boy, I don't think I will. Asko, a solid-looking young man enters your forge, his face set in determination. Yeah, basically he's just asking for a sword to help him guard lumber camps. Would be nice, but I think I will go with Tena. We only have 10 points and Tena requires 8. Well, as for Tena, she is asking us to replicate a sword that her father lost. Basically sold it for wine, and it was a family heirloom from her grandfather, and she wants to give it to her son, who is being inducted into the city guard, and I think that is a noble goal. Plus, she will give us one of these books, Oval Grips Volume 2. Sounds good to me. So let me just quickly run through the different dialogue options, and then we will get to forging. Okay, then it will cost us at least 20 steel, but you know what? We can afford it. It's fine. Let's go for it. So it needs to be a 1.5-handed sword. So it needs to be a little bit long. Let's go for that one first. Okay, that looks good to me. And then a lot thinner. Yeah, something like this. Alright, yeah, let's take out the blade first. So it requires a regular point. Let's just bring this one up a little bit and only hammer it out enough to have a regular point, just like this. Next up, it needs to be a bit more stiff. Which means I suppose we might as well go back on the thickness. 80% should do it. Yeah, it's a little bit wide, but you know what? For the sake of stiffness, I think it's necessary. But it also needs to be sharp. So give it a cross section. Seriously? One smooth tap makes it stiff enough, and in this direction makes it sharp enough, but no longer stiff enough. I suppose a single tap of thickness or maybe width. Yeah, there we go. Don't do anything else. This will be just fine. Okay, handle. Let's give it this one. Sure. Now, this one needs to be 1.5-hander. Which means we need at least maybe a mild taper made to be long should be enough. Okay, it is long enough. It will take 3 wood. If I was using maybe the strong taper, I don't think that's going to be yeah, I think it's going to be too narrow. Okay, fine, 3 wood, we can afford it, it's fine. But we still need to have the balance a bit leading towards the hilt, so I think adding the pommel should take care of that. Let's go ahead and use this one, I suppose. Where did the stiffness go? Fine, I will give it back in a second, but the balance is not quite correct. And this pommel is already big enough. What if I make this one bigger? There we go. Don't make it too big, just barely big enough for the balance to be correct. And now make it a tiny bit wider, and that should take care of the stiffness. It will cost us 7 extra steel. That is a bit much. If I make this one smaller and the cross guard bigger, we are back where we were. Okay, fine. Have this one as the default and have this one smaller. Unfortunately, 27 steel is non-negotiable unless I make this one out of wood. Is it going to decrease the weight? Yes, very much so. Balance is once again near the blade. Fine, steel. Unless gold is a lot heavier than steel. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, this would make the balance a lot closer to the hilt, but we cannot afford this much gold, unfortunately. Okay, fine. This one satisfies everything. Okay, what do we need this one? Well, since this is a replacement for a family heirloom, let's call this one the heir. Yeah, everything satisfied, a bit heavy on steel, but we can afford it, it's fine. Very nice. This book should come in handy. And we still have 2 points, not enough for any of the commissions. We could do some extra repair work, but meh, it's fine. Let's just open this leather bag. That was 71 extra dollars. Nice. And I suppose we need a bit more steel. I will break down these heavy shackles. That's 13, that's great. And one of the horseshoes. 10. Yeah. That was pretty alright. Okay, well, I think next up we need to go and pay a visit to Lucas because he wants to visit Shev in the camp, so I would feel better if he had an escort, so let's go for that one. I think I would feel better if we bought some food. It only costs us 4 coin. So we can easily afford it. Shouldn't take too much time either, so it's fine. And we are well fed. Great. That will give us 2 extra points of action for tomorrow. And I think we have enough time to put up some posters. That's great. And do we want to risk doing something else, or do we want to go for Lucas right away? Don't forget we have a limited amount of time. Examine the statue, maybe. The statue atop the central fountain, relatively small. Okay, we did 3 things. I don't want to risk going over time, so let's go ahead and meet with Lucas. I have decided that from now on I'm not going to read out every single text that appears on the screen. I will basically summarize whatever happens. Okay, he is ready to meet with Shev. And thankfully he switched clothing, so now he doesn't look like a nobleman, so he shouldn't stand out too much in the camp. Maybe you look still a little too clean. Yeah, he is a bit gobsmacked about the state of this camp. No surprises there. The people inside the keep cannot really appreciate what is happening out here. Any one of these people would skin you alive for a life as the lowest beggar in Eren Keep. I should know. And finally, they are reunited. Shev, I can't believe it, you really are here. Alright. he did bring her some food, so obviously that will help her, but okay, she doesn't need reminding of her situation, so tell you what, it's good to see you two being reunited. Okay, they have, well, reunited, they have reminisced a little bit, avoiding the subject of, well, all this, but now, how can we get her into that keep? And maybe I can take her on as an apprentice. Not good enough, I'm afraid. Only master level artisans, apparently. Is there anything I can do to help? Oh, she is... Okay, she's asking for a sword. I am very happy to oblige. Something lightweight, small and sharp. So maybe a dagger or a knife. Yeah, I suspect things are getting a little bit too desperate out here. Has anything happened yet? Nothing to me, not yet, but nights are growing longer and people are getting more desperate. Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, absolutely no problem, I can make you a sword. I am not even going to ask for any kind of payment. Oh, okay, Lucas will pay for it. Good, thank you. I also wouldn't object you brought some food, absolutely no problem. Okay, it's getting dark, we have to go and get back to the key before we are getting locked out. Okay, so we have 10 points as expected, very nice. Let's take a look. So we have 5 points for Lucas, very nice. We can do something else as well. What about Mara? 4 children tumble through your door in a tangle of elbows. The smallest, gap-toothed and muddy is shoved towards by the others. We need a knife, a sharp one. Obviously, the smith knows it needs to be sharp. Yes. Why do you need a knife? 4 children with a knife. I am not very comfortable about this. There's a monster under my bed. Need to cut rope for our swing. The baker's mean dog. We need it for protection. Okay. Mara seems to be the one telling the truth. I can't make this unless you tell me why you need it. 45%. Let's give it a try. Failure. Ah. A shame. I don't like it, but they seem desperate. Where did you get this gold? No, I don't like the sound of this. Regardless of your reasons, you are too young for a weapon. No. Children with knives, I don't like it. I will take a look at the crow last. What about Willem? He's 7 points, so if you want to do Willem's job, he would be the only one. A watchman walks into... Right, he lost his sword. It's fine, I don't care. What about Riley? The woman who enters your forge is wearing mismatched armor and her waist is adorned with battlefield trophies. Okay, I finally scrounged enough coin to buy a new steel, lost my last blade in someone's ribcage, couldn't get it loose before his friends showed up. Well, we can do her and Lucas as well. And she's only asking for 2 parts from the sword essentials. Okay, let's start with Riley and then we will do Lucas. So, she is asking for a regular length blade. Then it just needs to be fast enough. Okay, so basically it needs to be very, very thin. 90% I think that will do, and it requires a broad point. Not much we see of those around here. Let's go with this one. It is a broad point already. Okay, this is the narrowest we can make a broad point. Yeah, I think I like it this way. And next up, let's give it a cross section. Obviously, no sword is a sword without some edge. But it is not very speedy. Okay, in that case, what if we make this one into a single blade sword? If we basically cut the blade in half, that will surely make it a bit speedier. So tell you what, let's change the width on this side. Bring it all the way down. Okay, now it is as narrow as it physically can be. That's fine. It did lose a point. That's fine. We can just bring this one back a little bit. Oh, maybe we cannot have a broad point on a single blade weapon. Never mind. This one counts as a broad point apparently. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, fine. This one counts as a broad point. In that case, what if we add a small tip on the other side? Kinda like the swords in the Lord of the Rings for the orcs. So re-add a little bit of width on this side. Right, but make it like this. Bring it all the way to the end and make it pointy. Yeah, looks a bit more interesting. And now we should be able to make the point, well, a bit more broad. Yeah, I think this will do for now. Now, it is not quite fast enough yet. Anyways, with this kind of shape, I think I will make it a bit more curved as well. So from hilt to tip, make it, no, not in this direction please. Yeah, but it's still not fast enough. And I suspect if we add the hilt, it will bring the speed down even more. Okay, in that case, first add this one, and it is only asking, she's only asking for specific parts, not the size, so that will do. Needs to be two-handed, okay. It is now technically a two-handed sword, and is now fast enough, okay. That's a relief. And I still want to keep this single-edged design, but first let's give it a pommel. Let's go with yeah, sure. I don't like that it is using 6 wood, but you know what? We have plenty of wood. Now, I still want to keep this single-edged blade, but now that we have 3 points in speed, I think we can afford to make it a little bit wider. So, change width, no, on this side only. So, one more ability for width on this side. Yeah, I think this will do quite nicely. Now I just need the point back, and that's going to be it. Maybe I can do the point only on this side. No, has to be on both sides. Fine. I mean, I suppose it will do. It looks interesting to say the least. Basically a, I don't know, kind of a scimitar kind of a deal with a small hook at the end. Alright, well, I think I will call this one the hook, sure. Alright, Riley, here you go. Well, hope it helps. Anyways, we have 6 points. We'll need 5 for Lucas, right? Okay, first things first. We did receive a leather bag, so let's open it. That was $72. Not too bad. And how much steel do we need? Only 6 for Lucas. Okay, we don't need to break down anything to make this one work. Okay, Lucas. As expected, just needs to make a blade. Needs to be very, very mobile, needs a bit of leather, and needs to be short. One-handed, narrow point, that's it. Okay, let's go for it. So, a knife basically, which means we could also turn this one into a single-bladed weapon. Let's see. First, let's make it long enough. Just barely long enough, that's fine. And since it needs to be very, very mobile, I will make it quite thin. Yeah, I think 90% will do just fine. Okay, and yes, let's make it a single blade weapon. Which means we need to change the width on this side. Good, and then we need a narrow point. Both sides, because if we only do it on this side, then let me just show you what happens. Yeah, it will create this kind of a deal, but if you make it on both sides, then it will disappear, so it will look nice and proper. Okay, so need a narrow point. It is already a narrow point. Yeah, that will do. Nice. Next, a cross section. Let's make it as sharp as possible. I want to make sure Shev is kept safe and make the point a bit more sharp as well. So one more cross section. Bring it. Oh no, wait, we don't have to. It's fine. We would only have to do this if the original cross section doesn't go all the way. So let's go ahead and do this. And then this cross section will extend all the way to the top of the blade. Just like this, and then taper it a little bit so it looks nice. The same as usual. That will do. Okay, a nice, very, very pointy blade. Tell you what, let's make this one curved a little bit as well. In fact, maybe make it double curved. So curve up a little bit overall and a little bit more on the top. Yeah, I think I like it. Just a little bit more around here. Yeah, that's it. I think I will be happy with this. Maybe just bring the cross section up here. Yeah, like this. So it looks a bit more like a proper knife. Okay, I think I am okay with this. We could create some serrations on the top here. So it would not just going to be a you know, self-defense weapon, but maybe a utility knife as well. Not this, you know what, this will do. Okay, hilt. So she's asking for 2 pieces of leather. First things first. The crossguard. Yeah, this is such a small blade. Maybe we can use one of these Quilon blocks. Yeah. I think that is going to be quite alright. Let's just make it as small as possible, maybe a little bit wider. So far so good. So, needs to be a one-handed dagger. Let's go with a nice tapered... this one maybe? Yeah, that looks good to me. Now, about the pommel. Needs to be quite small as well. For example, this one would be way too big. Even if I shrink it down completely, this is as small as we can make it, so that's not going to work. Maybe we can use one of these quilon blocks again. For example, this big anvil piece. Just shrink it down. Still too big. This one doesn't look too bad. Okay, it is mobile enough, now we just need 2 pieces of leather. Let's take a look. Let's make it nice brown. Don't polish it too much. I want to make this one look quite ordinary. So that's not going to be enough. With the pommel, almost. The crossguard, not quite. This one looks very ugly. Okay, first, put the steel back and don't use this hilt. Use something a bit more beefy. If I make this one into a leather piece, almost. But now it looks silly. I don't want it to be simply functional, I want it to look nice as well. Or at least somewhat believable. Maybe we can use the strong taper. Fine, it will do. Everything appears to be satisfied. It will only use 2 pieces of leather, so it's fine, but I don't like the look of it, but not much we can do about it. It will have to do. Okay then, I think I will call this one the... Sure, the guard dog. Are you going to take this to Shev? Expected. Okay, we have to deliver it. It's fine. Okay then, I think it is decided. Tonight we will deliver this knife to her. Okay then. Well, we have a single point left. Let's go ahead and break something down. Once again, we are running low on steel, so this helmet, I suppose. And that was 10 steel. Better than nothing. Well, it doesn't take any time to go and visit the traders. And we have 700 coins. Tell you what, let's pay a visit to the scrap peddler. I don't think the ironmonger... You know what, let's visit both of them. Start with the ironmonger. Oh yeah, she actually does sell books. Nice. Well, I want to get my hands on most of these parts, so tell you what, for 50 coins I will absolutely buy this one. And for 100 more... Yeah, sure. So, Swords of the East. Maybe we can start making some katanas. That would be interesting. Next up, I will say goodbye for now, and let's visit the scrap peddler as well. Ooh, we can buy saffron coloring. Yes, absolutely. In case it comes up, I want to be ready. We have 500 coins. We can spend 200 on these books. Yeah. Let's go for it. And you know what? Let's buy some steel as well. Yeah, I think we can call this one good now. Let's go home and let's pay a visit to Shev. You know what? Before we go talk to Shev, let's go ahead and maybe see how Sandrick is doing. A new hideous illness is rippling through the camp. Uh-oh. Hi, Clodo. He is not breathing. Yeah. Starvation, disease. One or both of them got to him in the end. You deserve better. Well, we are exhausted, but you know what? Just more price to pay. He did deserve better. Encourage Claude to follow you home, 65%. Well, fingers crossed. Success. Finally, with a soft bark, the dog turns away and nuzzles your flank. Oh, seriously? Oh well, I suppose we can deliver this dagger tonight as well. Should be fine. But at least now Clodo is safe. The last member of the Mondor clan. Let me see. Let's try to bait him. Clodo isn't familiar with the concept of bats. Once you scrubbed him with soap and upended the first bucket over his head, he discovers he does not like it. Okay, feed him, pet him, and we can get back to work. Okay, at least he will keep us company. Well, let me see what we can do today. So, let's take a look at the jobs. We cannot do Ezekias or Joshan, but we can do Joan or Mara. Is that... Yeah, the same kids. I don't like it. What about Joan? Oh, and he's the bad guy. I really don't want to help this guy. But also, giving a knife to the kids does not sound right to me. But you know what? We did have a speech check earlier, and it failed. So maybe they have a good reason for it. Maybe it is actually for real protection. Okay, I will gamble. I don't like it, but let's see. So they are asking for a knife. Let's see. Fine, I buy it. What kind of a knife are you after? Sharp and pointy. Let's see. So, once again, a very, very short blade. That will do. And it needs to be stiff. So, if you don't mind, I will make it relatively thick. Maybe 70% should be alright. Okay, I don't think I will change the width. Ooh, and they're asking for 2 points of leather again. This might turn out to be quite an ugly blade again. Oh well, it's fine. So, length is fine, stiffness is fine. Just give it... maybe don't make it sharp, just pointy. Something like this, but make it convex. There, it is a very rounded edge, so it's not going to be very, very sharp. So hopefully that will, you know, make sure that they are not going to hurt themselves, but it needs to be pointy. Let's see, pointy. I don't like it, but you know what? Let's make it a stabbing weapon. Sure. Okay then, so those are fine. Now we just need a hilt. Now we have a lot more options. Let's take a look. Let's have a quillen block like this. And then a nice wide handle so it can accept as much leather as it can. Let's see, so it requires leather. Let's take a look. 1 point. 0.9 to be exact. What if we give it a nice big pommel? And turn that one into leather as well. Okay, that is going to be enough. 3.3. Make it a bit smaller. That's going to be 2.1. Maybe shorter on this one. Okay, 2.1. It will only cost us 2 leather, so it's fine. It looks a bit silly, but it will do. Okay, let me just quickly move this one into the handle so it doesn't look out of place. Yeah. I think this will do. Maybe I can make this one a tiny bit taller and less wide. Everything appears to be satisfied. Hopefully they will not cut themselves and they can stab whoever they need protection from. Fingers crossed this was actually, warranted. I will call this one the needle. Oh, not sharp. Yeah. They are not asking for sharpness, so fine, make it a little bit sharper. Is this good enough for now? Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. The children crowd around as you present the knife. 4 pairs of eyes go wide. The smallest one reaches for it. Mara slaps her hand away and takes the blade for herself, testing the edge with her thumb. Sharp. Good. She wraps it quickly in a dirty cloth and tucks it into her belt. The others press close, bickering over who will be the first to play with it. Please don't play with it. Be careful with that, you could seriously hurt someone or yourselves. We know. Okay, hopefully Mara will, be the reasonable one out of this bunch. They scramble for the door, pushing and shoving. One of them turns back and gives you a ridiculous gap-toothed grin. Thanks, Smith. Then they are gone, leaving only muddy footprints and the echo of laughter down the street. I can only hope I will not regret it later. Okay, we have 1 point, which means we need to break something down. I think I will go for some wood. Let's break down... yeah, one of these broken cartels. And that was 9 wood. Okay, now let's go ahead and pay a visit to Shev for real this time. Uh-oh, she appears to be sick. Ooh, hopefully we can get her into town and get her to a doctor or something. Offer her some food. How is life in the camp? And here's your sword. May it serve you well. Yeah, I don't know if Lucas is successful yet. I will go and ask him. Do you want to tell her about life in Eren Keep? Yeah, sure. Keep her company for a little while. And give us some inspiration. Okay then, I suppose we can say goodbye now. I really hope we can get her into the city and see a doctor or something. So we have 8 points. First, Yeah, let's feed Clodo and Pat, and we can get back to work. Our job is done. So let's take a look. We have Delilah, Oliver, Harvo Nimble Grip, and Elinia. Let's take a look. We need Swords of the East Volume 2. We only have Volume 1. Right? Yeah. So I don't think we can do Delilah unless one of the traders have this book on offer. But we only have 200 coins, so maybe not. What about Oliver? If the expensive sales didn't give away the customer's wealth, the plump belly. Yes, I think I did this one already. Sword Essentials Gold, we can do this one. Plus he will give us some a leather bag, which is supposedly extra money. What about Harvo Nimble Grip? Okay, this one is a bit more interesting. Let's take a look. Right, he appears to be some kind of an entertainer. I don't know. I don't want him to hurt himself. What about Elinia? Woman appears at your forge, bouncing from foot to foot. Here, yeah, I think we did this one already. And basically a, well, basic job. So, let me quickly take a look at the traders. Does any of them have the second volume of Swords of the East? Oh, yes she does, for 100 coins. And squaring the circle, 50 coins only. Ooh, very tempting. Both of them, I mean. Yeah, you know what? We have only 240 coins, but I think the payment will be more than this, so I think we can afford it. Right, I think we can do Delilah and, well, Oliver as well. Let's start with her. So we have everything we need. So let's take a look. Ooh, basically a dagger as well. Okay, I think we can turn this one into a proper Tonto. So that means that we want to make this one quite thin, maybe 90%. Something like this. And if it is going to be a Tonto, then it needs to be one-bladed. So let's take a look. First, width on this side, completely bring it down. Just like that. Maybe increase the width on the other side. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good length to width ratio for a Tonto. Then a point. Yeah, that will do. It's a little bit too pointy for a Tonto, but you know what? It's close enough. Next up, give it a nice curve. Sure, and then a nice cross section as well. Don't go all the way, maybe this much, and then another cross section. The usual, make the point the correct way. Yeah, I suppose it's a little bit too pointy, but it looks alright. Okay then, so hilt. So it needs to be a couple of pieces from the Sword of the East Volume 2. Let's go with the hollow path. Shrink it down. A little bit too big. Maybe the morning sun. A little bit wider. Yeah, it's a little bit big, but you know what? It's fine. Also, I just realized, please bring the curve, the cross section out a little bit here. A bit more. Yeah. Just like that. Okay, and then we need one more piece. First, let's have an oval piece for the handle and just shrink it down and make it long enough for a one-handed sword, just like that, and then give it a Japanese wrap. Right, it is coming together already, and then give it a pommel. I don't remember the name of these on the sword, but you can see what they are. Let's go with this one. Looks good to me. Everything appears to be satisfied, but I would like to have the wrappings to be made out of cordage. Unfortunately, we don't have cordage unlocked yet. Okay, in that case, let's just make it out of dark leather like this. Yes, it will cost us some leather, but you know what? I can afford it. And use fine timber. That's great. And polish the steel parts. In fact, we can cut down on the steel usage if we turn this one into wood, for example. No, it will just make, raise the wood requirements. What about the crossguard or the tsuba? No, still 8 steel, so it doesn't matter. But you know what? I think this one looks a bit more appropriate. Okay, unfortunately we cannot polish the blade yet, but eventually. I think I'm okay with this one. Let's call this the autumn leaf. Sure, why not? Ooh, nice, level 8. Well, that means we can only unlock one thing, and that is going to be part bending, finally. Now we can sculpt these different sword parts a lot more. I've been waiting for this one. If we didn't have to unlock other stuff first, I would have loved to go for this one as well, but now it's unlocked. Let's take a look. So, we can also do Oliver. Well, he should give us plenty of money plus a bag of extra gold or silver or coins, whatever. So I think this one will offset the cost of the books. Okay, so we need 2 sword essentials, a little bit of gold. We should have that one sorted, right? We have 2 points, we only need 1, so that should be okay. Plus he will give us some extra back. Yeah. Ooh, and it's going to be a 2-handed, relatively short sword actually. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, it is barely long enough, but you know what? It's going to be a 2-handed sword, so make it as long as it needs to be. Something like this. A bit more appropriate, I think. Also, he's not asking for anything specific in the actual statistics. He just needs it to look nice, okay? In that case, I think we can play around with the blade a little bit. Let's narrow it down to maybe 90%. Exactly. Then, let's taper it to the point. Oh wait, and it needs to be strongly curved as well. Well, in that case, it needs to be... Well, sword essentials. Turn it into some kind of a falchion or scimitar or something like that. Okay, anyways, needs to be strongly curved, which means it is best if it is a single blade sword. You know what that means? We need to get rid of 1/2, just like that, and we need to increase the width on the other side. I think that looks good to me. Next up, create the cross section now. So just bring this one down and create a cross section. Yeah, something like this, but I would like this to be maybe like this. Okay, next up, a narrow point. What if we create a little bit of extra width on the end of the sword? Let me just take a look. So go back to the other side, but only at the tip of the sword. So make it a bit thicker here, like this, but create a bit of tapering as well. Okay, I think I like it. Next up, cross section should be fine on this side as well, right? Oh, right. We need to create a cross section on the other side too. So if you don't mind, I would like to create an edge right at the tip. Yeah, something like this. The point is going to be on both sides in that case. So that looks okay, except cross section, it's not quite correct, I think. I can understand why it's looking so flat, but we still have an edge here, so I think it's going to be okay. Unless... nah, it's fine. Yeah, I will be okay with this for now, but it needs to be a lot more curved. So, if you don't mind, let's create that curve. This is a strongly curved, apparently. A bit more. Yeah. Now this is strongly curved. Okay, next up the hilt. Let's use this one. Sure. Doesn't need to be too big. Oh, right, and now we can create more interesting sword shaped parts. Let's go for a curved back, I suppose. Yeah, why not? Next up, the handle. Okay, no clipping as far as I can see, and we saved on one wood. Better than nothing. Now as for the pommel, let's go with this one. No, wait, this one. I have an idea. He wants this sword to be very, very nice looking. In fact, let's just have this one curving this way a little bit. So, he wants this sword to be nice, right? Well, we did unlock this lion emblem. Let's go ahead and put this one here and just raise it all the way to the top of this ring, circle, whatever. There. And let's put the gold on this one. So, we need gold. Ooh, not quite. Not even a 0.1. In that case, put the other one here. That's going to be still not even 0.1. What if we color this one completely gold? That's enough now. That's going to be 2.4, a bit much. Okay, no lion symbols. Thank you. Just shrink it down. That's going to be 1.1. a little bit shorter as well. Not quite. Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, so this amount of gold will require 3. Fine. First, and make this one shorter and just raise up the size enough to cover the hilt. 1.1, still at 3, that's fine. Okay, leave and buy a single piece of gold. Or, oh, we don't have enough points to break this one down. Fine, we have to buy it. I do believe Quell had some gold, right? No. That's fine. I think surely the scrap peddler will have some. Yeah. Okay, I will buy a single piece. That's all we need. Thank you. Okay, let's finish the job. So, we have everything, we have enough resources. Everything appears to be satisfied. Let's just turn the wood handle into pine wood so it looks a bit nicer. And maybe polish the metal parts. There, and the steel. We still cannot polish the blade, but hopefully soon. Maybe I can turn the handle into, where is it? These diamond pieces. Yeah, this one. I think that would look a little bit more ornate. Yeah, a little bit more interesting, I think. Okay, 5 wood, 3 gold, 13 steel. Everything appears to be satisfied. I think we can call this one done. Okay, what do we name this? Let's call it the... Yeah, sure, why not? Goldfinger. Okay, offer to Oliver. Let's go for it. Well, since we had to invest into a piece of gold, which was, well, 20 coins, let's hope that this leather bag will offset the cost. And 71, okay, more than enough. Okay, I think we are done for today. Where do we want to go? End the day. And we could go to the steady stay to find the carpenter for wood. Or we could go to the tannery so we can talk about Casvin. Let's go there. Okay, first let's find Casvin. Okay, not much we can talk to him about right now, but we might as well go ahead and talk to his boss. So, let's see what we can do. Greetings, I am the new swordmate in Eren Keep. Do you have a man named Casvin in your employ? Aye, he is a good worker. Substantial debt. How substantial is it? I was hoping to hire him at my forge. Can Casvin maybe work in my forge to work off his debt? Maybe we can do it that way. You're welcome to him, but the man owes us a considerable sum. Oh, right, owes us, so he must be member of the league. How much would it cost to buy Casvin's freedom? Oh geez, 2,000. That's a lot of money. You know what? 35%, no pain, no gain. Even if you fail, whatever. Failed. Okay, fine. 2000 it is. That is a ludicrous figure. Right. Oh jeez, 2000. What do you know about the missing swordsmith? Yeah, he is once again repeating the rumor that he killed his wife. Can I buy some leather? We don't deal with individuals, okay. We sell in bulk to established customers, alright. Yeah, okay, so if we work for a little bit, then we can take some offcuts. Well, obviously we cannot buy Casvin right now, so unfortunately we have to go. And no, I don't think I will work for the evening. I don't want to get tired, so let's go back home. Well, anyways, I think we can say goodbye now because we are way over time. So yeah, I think for now, all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.